You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 46 of season 2 of the Dialed In Show. Steven, how you doing today?
I'm good. I guess this is the best health I felt in like 4 weeks.
I guess that is good, but that's also unfortunate.
I know, and I don't get sick, so it's just been weird. It's been weird. When we were in the green room, I said, "I see you, quarter zip." You know, that's what the kids are wearing nowadays, quarter zips.
I found this out in a very unfortunate way. Y'all, this past Sunday, and even my mother insulted me.
Oh.
I'll tell you what she said. So, I thought this past Sunday that what I had on was going to be a nice blend or mixture of younger and older. I intentionally didn't wear jeans. I had on some kind of thick slacks, dress pants material, good material.
Yeah.
And it was Goodfellow. And everything I had on was Goodfellow. And
you had on a long sleeve polo.
Yeah, I'm thinking, the old people are gonna be okay with it. The young people are gonna be okay with it. Well, I guess when I say young people, I'm talking maybe like 20s, 30s is what I'm thinking in my mind. During meet and greet, and so mind you, the same story I'm about to tell you, I told our mother. And before I got to really into the story to tell her what happened, she said, "Yeah, when you walked in, I said, oh, he just threw something together."
Oh,
I said,
it looked fine on YouTube.
I said, that outfit was intentional. I didn't just throw it together. So during the meet and greet, and They Little Tales was only up there this Sunday because they were singing. During meet and greet, I go to the back of the sanctuary and all the kids are back there. Little boy, probably like 11, 12 years old, walks up to me with his friends. And he says, "PM." And he points, like, look at me up and down. He said, "Uh-uh."
Oh.
I said,
"Dog."
I said, "What?" He said, "Uh-uh." I said, what are you talking about? He said, this is exactly what he said, but I didn't know what the hell he was saying. He said, "Quarter zip and matcha tea." I said, "What?" He said, "Quarter zip and matcha tea." I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't know the YNs are wearing quarter zips instead of Nike Techs now?
Okay, please explain. So
Micah is so old.
So then he says this. He says, "No Nike Tech."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I said, what are you talking about? I said, what? He said, and he tried to talk slow for me. He said, "No Nike Tech."
A Nike Tech is the jogging suit, the zip up hoodie and the jogging pants.
Well, I thought Nike Tech was a polo shirt. I didn't know what he was talking about.
It's a Nike Tech suit. It's a jogging suit.
He said, "No Nike Tech." He said, "Quarter zip." He said, "You need to wear a quarter zip." And his little tail had one on. He said,
"This is what Michael wore." I mean, you look fine to me. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that.
And he said, this ain't what you're supposed to wear. He said, "You need to have on a quarter zip." And I said, okay.
So you felt so insecure that you wore a quarter zip today?
Right. I said, as many as I can find, I'm gonna wear them. You
got to wear one Sunday.
Well, I told him, I said, I already got my outfit picked out for next Sunday, which is just an orange sweater. I said, but Sunday after next, your little tail.
But that's first Sunday.
No, we got 5 Sundays in November. I said, your little tail, you're gonna see me in a quarter zip, no Nike Tech. And then I said, now what's the other thing?
You've never owned a Nike Tech, so
I said, now what's this other thing you talking about some matcha tea?
He
said, "Oh my God."
He said, like it.
He said, "Oh my God." He said, "Don't drink coffee, drink matcha." I said, "Bye, man." Bye.
So you getting schooled by the youth. By the youth church.
And mommy gonna say,
what was he wearing?
And then what was he wearing?
Yeah.
A quarter zip. He had one on. And mommy gonna say, yeah, he didn't brought his friends to church, said, "We got a young pastor and you up there looking old." Well, look.
Okay, everyone who doesn't know Micah, I am 36. Micah is what, 29?
28.
28. Micah really is a 40-year-old man. So the fact that you didn't even know what quarter zip was
Yeah.
the trend right now
I
says a
felt
lot.
I felt so old. I'm literally standing back there surrounded by between 11 and 15-year-olds. And all of them looking at me like I'm stupid. Because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And they all like, yeah, quarter zip. I said, what?
I shouldn't say YN. The urban youth are trying to elevate their appearance
Oh,
by not wearing jogging suits, basically.
okay.
And they are wearing quarter zips.
Well,
Now, when we get off this, just search quarter zip on Instagram. You're going to find a bunch of reels and TikToks.
Since then, I've told this story to a couple people, and now people have been sending me all this stuff that's on the internet. And I said, oh, wow, I've not seen any of this stuff. About
The fact that you felt the peer pressure, though, to wear one on the podcast today.
I was really taken aback by it. It offended me. I'm not going to lie to you. Because what I had on was so intentional.
And it was fine.
It was so intentional. And I said, nah, dog. He just called me out like that. I said, but you know what? Fifth Sunday, I bet you I'm going to have a quarter zip on.
Okay. We'll see if you pull it off.
Yeah. I low-key want to ask him this upcoming Sunday, fourth Sunday, for approval of what I plan on wearing fifth Sunday. Like is this gonna, like, I need to ask him, what kind of pants am I supposed to wear? What kind of shoes? Because like how you said a couple weeks ago, now Air Force Ones are dad shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
yeah,
am I supposed to wear a quarter zip with some New Balances? And like, I don't know.
To me, New Balances are dad shoes, but that's a whole conversation for another day.
Speaking of being a pastor and you know, crazy moments during the church service, Bishop William Murphy had an absolutely weird, crazy moment this past Sunday. I don't know how many of y'all have seen it. Stephen, you saw it. Of this, I don't know what was wrong with the guy.
It seemed like he told him to come. If you listen to the beginning, he said, "Come, my brother," or whatever.
But I don't think he meant come and try and grab me on the pulpit, on the stage.
The funniest thing is you hear the guy say, "Ah," then when he gets hit, "Ah."
Man, that deacon or security, whoever he was,
I loved it.
He tackled the life out that boy. Man. And William Murphy, he said, yeah.
He said he was just trying to give me a hug. Y'all. It was
his people. I'm proud of his people though. They jumped on him quick.
He said, "Ah."
They jumped on him quick.
Baby God, I see you.
Let's see. You see, he didn't, when he said, "Come on, man, and God, I see," he ain't mean come up there.
I was like, "Come on, man, and God." So I didn't know. I mean, maybe he saw that as an invitation.
Man, I'm glad they took him down the way that they did, though, because you don't know what that man would have done to him. People are crazy, and it's I can't imagine if it happened to me. This is why at the height of like certain times a year, you know, we talk a lot about shootings and mass shootings and certain things like that. Not that it's the same time every year. It's just, you know, it just seems like, what they say, birds of a feather flock together. When one thing happens and that inspires other people to do stuff. I have considered during a couple of moments like that, you know, saying, you know, I'm a have my gun on me depending on what I'm wearing while I'm up there.
Okay, and what are you going to be able to do?
Shoot, they tell.
You're not going to be able to. That's not stand your ground.
Why it ain't? If you
standing
standing
in
up
the pulpit of a church, is not stand your ground.
If you standing up there and somebody is charging at you, but that's not normal. Why are you running at me? So,
okay, what if somebody was running to touch the hem of your garment?
I ain't Jesus. I said, nigga. I mean,
No.
I ain't Jesus. don't do that. I ain't Jesus. If they lived to tell the story and that's what they said, I'd have been like, you was mistaken. You thought I was Jesus. You read the story wrong. It didn't say touch the preacher garment. It says she went and touched the hem of Jesus' garment, not mine.
Oh wow, my Lord,
Mm.
Jesus Christ!
Even Jesus said, "Who touched me?" He did. He said, "Who touched me?"
Yeah, Jesus ain't pull out no slingshot.
No, Jesus was like Dr. King. Dr. King was like Jesus. He believed in nonviolence.
Okay.
Jesus put that man's ear back on his head.
Right.
Jesus was a nice man.
I hope so. You said Jesus was a nice man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was what was it? Well, this week, so Monday, was Omega Psi Phi Founders Day. Shout out to our dad.
I was gonna say he's gone, but yeah, to our father who was an Omega. Congratulations to all of them on their Founders Day. Y'all's is in January, isn't it? No, yeah,
It is December 4th, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, December.
We have one by ourselves. All the
Because there's a lot of
January-
people in
all the
January.
January babies. I don't. If I created an organization, I'm not gonna have my date close to somebody else's date. I just
Isn't
think
it
that's
Deltas
weird.
and Kappas?
It's the Kappas and the Deltas and the AKAs and the Zetas and yeah.
I think their mind probably
understand
was.
why would your day if and granted at the time, you know, they were friendly and stuff, but I just don't. If I'm creating an organization because I don't like your organization or think I could do a better job, I'm not gonna make my date the day after your date.
But I think they probably think, okay, it's the first month of the year.
Mhm.
You know, it's okay. We start a new year. Let's start this thing. But I'm with you. Let's be by ourselves. It's 12 months in a year.
Yeah.
And originally it was only 8 of them. So you got extra months.
Yeah.
And don't nobody know when the 9th people are anyway.
Oh.
I'm saying,
All right. I hope Larry Johnson ain't watching this.
I don't know. I just don't, and I need to educate myself. I don't know much about them. They're not, there's not as many of them, and so
They're very popular up north.
Up north,
yeah, they were founded at Morgan State University. Yeah, they're more popular up north. But yeah, and happy belated Founders Day to Sigma Monroe. Alphas, we up next, December 4th. But yeah. All right. So there are no more pennies. Well, that's not accurate. They have stopped producing pennies. I think, now granted, I have not carried change in years. I don't want to. I don't carry cash. Do you think that was a good move? Like, I mean, who uses? My thing is when it phases out, I mean, how you gonna give change?
Yeah. So for me, typically, I found myself having more cash on me than I normally would. Normal me, I don't have any cash. It's just everything's digital. Everything's on card. Now, right now, my wallet's empty, both physically and digitally. but I find myself nowadays, I tell them keep the change. Because I'm it's like,
what am I going to carry it around?
Right. What I'm going to do with it? It's going to just end up in my car and I'm not going to put it in my pocket. And so, but sometimes, when times get rough and you want a biscuit, you
want a bitch.
Wait, did you say what I think you just said?
Yeah, I did. All I heard was bit. You said biscuit. Continue. We have cursed twice this show.
When times get rough and you want a biscuit or a cheeseburger,
a dollar sausage biscuit.
Yeah, something like that. Man, you be in that drive-through telling them, hold on a second. And look, you go back to your arithmetic from elementary school. And you be like, 2 dimes is 10 cents. You be in there counting them that change in the bottom of your car.
Look, people don't want to talk about they struggle with. Y'all done been in a drive-through before, and you thought you had, and you literally had like a couple pennies more than the order. Like I'm on your card.
Yeah. Or
They say 121. You look at your account, you like, ooh, I got 130.
I remember one time going through the drive-through at Chick-fil-A, which is a horrible place for it to happen. Because they so polite and everything. And then they move quick. And so they do tap and it's like, all right, you say thank you, to say my pleasure. Man, that girl came back up to me. She said, your card didn't go through. I said, oh, this is so embarrassing. This thing been acting up. I said, let me just give you cash.
So you did your order, you tapped, she walked away.
And then she came back. When I saw when she got to the other car, she came. She said, "Wait a minute, this declined."
She said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I said this thing been acting up.
Oh man, that's tough. Okay, Supreme Court not ready to tackle prayer at football games again. A Christian school sued the Florida High School Athletic Association after it was not allowed to use the stadium's public address system to lead spectators in prayer before a football game. Supreme Court recently ruled, was it now a year ago, a coach in Washington State, he got fired, I think, because he was praying with the team on the field before the game. Supreme Court said it's legal. Your thoughts? I mean, I know you are a pastor. I know there's certain places where some people may think praying in public settings is like forcing your religion on others, and then there are other settings where it's like, do you think at a high school football game, the PA announcer should say a prayer?
I am obviously somewhat biased because I'm a pastor, and then even when people talk about separation of church and state, from the me as a Christian perspective, I don't really believe in separation of church and state. And here's what I mean by that. If I was a politician, now one, yes, I'm a representative for all of my constituents. So I'm not going to promote my religion in a public space, even when it comes to policy. However, I'm still a Christian, whether I'm at home, at church, in the voting booth, in Congress, I'm still a Christian. So it's going to shape my moral compass, is what I guess I'm trying to say. That's the first thing. We are going to be, I think you just got to be consistent. So, okay, if you're going to have certain rules like this, then stop saying God bless America. Then stop. So I just don't think, how do you pick and choose when it's okay and when it's not?
Yeah.
I just think that's tricky. And I think, I don't think people are really all that offended when you talk about praying, other than those who don't believe in a God at all. I think the only thing that might rub certain people the wrong way is if you say in Jesus' name. But outside of that.
So this is not off topic. It's definitely on topic, but we found this so funny growing up. So I went to Green Forest McCaleb Christian Academy. We said prayers before games. Almost about 98% of the teams we played were Christian or just like no religion. Our rival was W. Dean Muhammad, a Black Muslim private school. When they would come to our gym, our parents stood and said prayer. When we would go to their gym, their parents would stand and say prayer. And it was just interesting because some of the parents on away games would intentionally like yell in Jesus' name. I'm like, okay, all right. But that was a weird. That was like first time seeing something like that. As far as two different religions, so prayer before the game was contentious because it was two. But yeah, like you said, it's about consistency. I think. Yeah, but then some people, being devil's advocate, may say, "Why don't you?" No one's stopping you from praying to yourself. Pray yourself before the game.
Right. But I guess that's why I say when I go back to the being consistent part is,
or should you observe a moment of silence so everybody can say their own prayer?
But then here's something: you can't please everybody, because to the atheist, the agnostic, they don't think you should pray at all.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're observing a moment of silence, you can do whatever you want.
But I'm saying why are we being silent? Look, what are we doing it for? So I just think it's I also don't see an issue with, even to the atheist or the agnostic person who doesn't believe in a God at all. Typically, those prayers are prayers of like, let this be a safe game. Is so look at it like this: that all you're simply doing is wishing that this game is safe, that the players are safe, that the spectators are safe. You're wishing everyone well. Is all you're doing. And so I think if you look at it from that perspective, who's mad about that? That you're saying
clearly somebody.
And so here's where, when we go talk about politics, even though the Supreme Court's supposed to be nonpartisan, which that's a bunch of malarkey. If I was on the Supreme Court, that's how I think I would vote and view it. Is they're not doing anything but wishing these people well at the game.
But what if someone went across when you tell somebody to pray? Sometimes people do more than you think they would do.
Yeah. I think, and here's me, because there is a combination of church and state in many different things, and typically a lot of it, at least on the local level, even national, Trump so-called be wanting certain things to be Christian, but especially on the local level, if it's a Black Christian commissioner or council person or whatever, they talk about Jesus and they say all these things, or they definitely say the Bible says blah blah blah. Sometimes if I'm doing a prayer in a very, very public place, I for sure end it in Jesus' name. I don't care what you say about that. I for sure end it in Jesus' name. However, throughout the prayer, I try not to be so Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Just because I don't necessarily want to be offensive in this space. Now, you come in my church, I say what I want to say. But on the courthouse steps, I'm gonna tone it down a little bit, just because I don't want you to your ears to become deaf. And I think
good point.
I think that we can just be respectful of everybody. Same thing when certain people of other religions pray, you just bow your head and be respectful. You might be saying in your head, Lord, I'm praying to you. I don't know who they praying to, but I'm praying to you. And then you just move on. We agree on far more than we disagree on.
Excuse me.
We agree on far more than we disagree on. And it's just the one thing that we disagree on. Some of us believe you're going to end up in a place that's happy, and some of us believe you're going to end up in a place that's very, very hot.
And with that, we'll move on. I put this on the rundown just because Stephen A. Smith made a good point. One, Michelle Obama ain't running for president, but
she wouldn't win.
You don't think so?
Heck no.
She wouldn't win the nomination, or she wouldn't win president?
Either one.
Wow.
If she won the nomination, if she won the nomination, such fools are the Democrats.
Well, no, they're gonna say it's apple oranges. Kamala Harris had 107 days. If that's what you're talking about.
Michelle Obama herself said that America's not ready for a female president.
That could be her personal belief. She doesn't think so. I don't think she's running, but I'm saying if she did, she would definitely win the Democrat nomination.
No.
Yes, she would. Why wouldn't she?
It would be the stupidest thing the Democrats could do.
Why?
First of all, she is, and let me try and say this the most politically correct way I can. She's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's
a
black.
woman of color. Mm-hmm.
She was married to, within our still lifetime, one of the most beloved but also most hated presidents in our time.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
So I would be dumb as heck to put her up to be it don't make no mathematical sense. Why would you do if you're looking at history,
the pendulum swings hard.
yeah.
Look at who succeeds who.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard swing.
It is, but who has right now? Let's just call it MAGA.
Mm-hmm.
Who has MAGA beat? Women. Donald Trump is only not only, but Donald Trump is president because both
he beat
times
a woman twice. Yes,
he beat a woman. Mm-hmm. So a JD Vance is kind of in a
JD Vance is not Donald Trump.
Psh.
He's not Donald Trump.
JD Vance or Michelle Obama.
JD Vance is not Donald Trump.
He's not. Donald Trump is an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
Mark my word. Democrats are utterly foolish.
She's not running. It's just an interesting scenario.
I know, but Democrats are utterly foolish if they put forth a woman, especially a woman of color, but a woman. First of all, anybody with any color.
You need to give it context in this cycle.
In this cycle, yeah. In 2028, a woman or any person of color. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry, Governor Westbrook. You're not going to be Westmore. You are not going to be the next president of the United States. Your best bet, possibly VP. Here's what it needs to be, and this is the furthest stretch I would go to the left. We need that man who I believe he's a Jew.
He's Jewish. Don't say a Jew.
I believe he's Jewish. The governor of Pennsylvania, is that where he was? Mm-hmm. Him. He's nice, middle-aged. He's Jewish, which will work in his favor. He seems cool. All kinds of stuff. He's a governor, so he got some type of track record, proven leadership, blah blah blah. And if it's him, they need to run an Obama Biden, not in color,
mm-hmm.
but or do what really all of them have tried to do. Hillary Clinton tried to do it with Tim Kaine a little bit. What's the name? Tried to do it with Walls. But he needs to flip it. Go and find you an old white woman.
Mm.
Go find you an old white woman, one who ain't done nothing to nobody, who is just an old white woman. I promise they would win. Because here's the other thing that people gotta understand: America, and this isn't to be offensive or anything. This is fact. America is still a white country. The largest
when it comes to politics,
the population. If you talk about individual races, now I think at this point, if you total up minorities, the minority might be, if not surpass whites, might be close to it. But I'm talking about individuals. Is there's more whites than any other race individually, which is also why this whole conversation about when we talk about SNAP benefits and everything. You people, it's more white people. Watch this.
There are more Republican voters. Yes.
That get SNAP benefits than anybody else.
Factual.
That's fact. That ain't opinion. That's fact. So some of this stuff is crazy. Either way, back to Michelle Obama, the Honorable Michelle Obama. I'm glad that she don't have in her head, and she could be lying. All these people lie. But I'm glad that she don't have in her head that she needs to run. I genuinely don't think she liked being in the White House. She said multiple times.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah. I don't think she truly even has a desire to do it. Now,
it's just an interesting thought.
I'm a little upset at the Honorable Kamala Harris because she said on what's his name podcast, like she's open to running again. That she might run again.
That don't mean 2028.
In my opinion, if she don't do it in 28. She don't need to ever do it. And if she does do it, she's not gonna do anything but split the ticket, the votes for the primary. It's just, I wish there was some type of higher being, and it's God, but I'm talking about like here on earth, who could, and there are powers that be, but who could tell somebody like her and Wes Moore and some of these others, sit down.
But they are qualified.
Yeah.
So why would they sit down if they are qualified?
Because you're not gonna win.
You don't know if you don't try.
Well, yeah, because at one point in time, people said Obama wasn't gonna win.
Correct.
In fact, you go back and watch some of that stuff from back then, he was losing.
Mm-hmm.
He was not the front runner for a long time.
Yeah.
But I still think it's we've had that moment, and that moment's not gonna happen
why do you
again.
think you can't have that moment again?
It's not gonna happen again no time soon.
Okay.
But you're right. The pendulum, it swings hard. Every president that's elected is a major reaction to the one before. Obama was one because of the Bush presidency. Trump came because of Obama. Then that's why Biden. So I get what you're saying, but the answer for the Democrats is not Michelle Obama. That's just all I'm saying. Okay. She's not the answer. And if they put up a woman of color, a woman at all, a black person, a black man, or an Asian man, or any of that, then the Democratic Party needs to not any longer be a donkey. It needs to be a falcon. It needs to be a falcon. That needs to be
what you tried to. I see what you tried to do there.
You saw it. You caught it. The mascot for the Democratic Party needs to become a falcon because Raheem Morris or whatever his name is, you suck, sir.
It's not just him. And then we have more bad news. Michael Penix will be out for the rest of the season with an injury. Drake London, our top receiver, will be out for a couple of weeks.
The season's over.
It is.
It really is. It's already over, but the season's over.
Terrible. It is terrible. It's just
if Arthur Blank don't fire these people next year, somebody needs to check his mental health. Is and I'm like you, how you said last week or the week before, not just him, not just the head coach. They didn't get rid of everybody.
Yeah, just clean house. Just clean house. This is a disgrace to Michael Vick and Julio Jones and Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan and it's just I bet they be at home and somebody say, the Falcons on. They say, I'm not about to watch that. I'm not about to watch that. I was looking at that score Sunday and I was like, I'm not even about to get excited.
Right, because and this is the thing. I wish if we was gonna be a losing team, I wish we was was good at losing. And here's what I mean. Lose from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons they be leading. And they always find a way to lose. We was watching that game Sunday. Like you said, the beginning, first, second quarter, you're like, oh, okay. But then it's like, nope, watch they lose. And it's horrible that we saying, watch they lose. Watch they lose. Go all the way to the end, then go to overtime, lose. They always find a way to lose.
Yeah, I'm going to just stop watching. Until they prove me wrong. I'm just not going to be invested. I'm going to disassociate myself. Because when I don't watch, I don't care. I don't get mad. So it's like someone said they should put UGA in the NFL and the Falcons in college. Kirby Smart beat Texas. I was happy about that. I don't want Georgia to go to the SEC championship because I don't want them to get another loss. I think they should just have a home game for the playoffs and get some momentum. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all right, Falcons suck. That's all the time we have. See you guys same time, same place next week.
Bye, y'all. Have a good day.